Hello,
Hello,
chat
chat
room.
room.
It's the
It's the
Scoundrel
Scoundrel
and
and
Mercenary
Mercenary
Podcast,
Podcast,
episode
Episode
2.
2.
We
We
are
are
recording
recording
live
live
on
on
December
December
27th
27th
at
at
2:47
2:47
a.m.
a.m.
I
I
would
would
give you
give you
some
some
comments
comments
about
about
World of
World of
Warcraft.
Warcraft.
Well, my
My
computer's in
computer's
the
at the
shop.
shop,
So
so
those
those
comments
comments
will
will
have
have
to
to
wait.
wait.
For
For
now,
now,
I
I
have
have
my
my
lovely co-host
co-host
with
with
me.
me.
Introduce
Introduce
yourself.
yourself.
Hi, chat room. I'm QBL.
And
QBL
QBL
will
will be my wingman today, as we only have two people on the stream. We intend to record for 30-35 minutes. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to sub to the channel, go ahead. That way it will remove the commercials for you. We want to thank our sponsor, the lovely people at powersonic.ca. That's POWERSONIC.ca. They used to be located in Richmond, but they're moving. So they're shut down for the holidays during their big move. We wish them all the best. They've been serving us faithfully for 17 years, providing quality equipment and help in a pinch when their computer goes down. So we want to thank Benson and Carol for all their hard work, and we look forward to doing business with them in the new year. So right down to business. It looks like we have a few events happen in Mercenaries. So let's get right down to those.
Life support failing.
Can't
And-
hear you.
And what do you mean can't hear me?
You went blank all of a sudden.
Yes, the podcast does that. If there's a mute, she cuts out the 2 seconds.
Oh.
So it's planned into the automation of things. And thank you so much for noticing that there's dead air. Dead air is like a conversation killer. But we'll use that on the podcast. And we just want to tell you some tips and tricks for improving your MechWarrior game. For me this week, it was like watching Worf on Deep Space Nine. He's the valiant warrior who no longer throws his life away. We've had Worf in Star Trek The Next Generation who's always looking for a way to today is a good day to die. That is not the wingman philosophy in MechWarrior 5. The philosophy in MechWarrior 5 is you want to keep your wingman alive so that you stay alive. I played the mission like 15-20 times today just so I had my wingman take friendly fire away from me, take enemy fire away from me, draw targets with their back away to me, so I could shoot them in the back, rack them up, double kill, and the wingman I'm probably not going to keep forever. Eventually I'll let them retire because at level max skill 30 and MechWarrior 5, they're not very useful. So all they can do is pretty much avoid getting stuck on the rock and avoid avoid the more simpler things in life, like looking at the decor and trying to figure out which way the fight is. I had one pilot basically run away from the fight every time, only to notice when I jumped into his cockpit, because on MechWarrior 5, if you have the edition for the what's that called? The jump ship edition. You can switch to their cockpit to see what's going on. So I saw this MechWarrior had basically only long-range missiles. So when he's too close to a target, he can't shoot. So I quickly rethought my strategy and put Streak 6 on the MechWarrior so he could actually be helpful. And then I jumped in the cockpit later to see that he runs out of Streak 6 missiles. So at that point, that guy is useless. He can't help you, can't do anything for you. All he can do is distract the enemy from shooting you in the back. So he just stands there and dances around and kind of draws enemy fire away from you. And then I played another mission because I didn't want to be stuck doing 30 to 40 missions in the Liao. Liao is a complicated area to start. You start with fewer resources. You start with light or medium mechs. You don't have access to good ballistic mechs, so you have to make do with machine guns and something called a light rifle. Now, the light rifle works pretty much like a missile. It's really, really, really slow, easy for the enemy to dodge. However, it does good damage. So if you happen to find a stationary target, like a turret or a tank that's stuck in a piece of rock, you can shoot it easily and make it critical with one hit, which is insanely handy because your wingmen do not gain experience by following you around. Your wingmen get experience from killing stuff. So what you don't really want to kill everything. What you want to do is make everything crit, and then ask your wingman to send one missile to hit the target, and then they get experience. They get better at shooting. They get better at running. They get better at heat management. They get better at doing a lot of different things. The reason I'm playing MechWarrior 5 on my spouse's spare computer is that my main computer had a big accident, a huge meltdown. In fact, things went so badly that let me play a little segment here if I can find it. Um, hang on a second. Everything's locked with a password these days. So it's over here, and it goes a little like this.
Array is disabled. Weapons array is disabled.
So basically, my computer had major problems with the video card. So I sent my video card off to my nephew so he can use it, and I put a new video card in there, a 3080 Ti, which is a big upgrade for my computer. Unfortunately, it was the last one in Canada, so it happened to be expensive. And when I got the computer home, I never plugged the computer at home right away. I always let it sit for 12 hours. So I parked the computer on the floor and didn't touch it for a whole day. I know some people think that's over the top to not touch the computer for a day. But really, the computer's been sitting in a cold area inside the vehicle for a few hours. Who knows what could go wrong? You could have moisture on the disk, or something go wrong with the processor or CPU, whatever. So I always leave it alone for a whole day for it to warm up to room temperature. And as it were, the power supply didn't come on. So I phoned Benson and Carol at PowerSonic. I said, I need some help. And Benson said, unhook the power supply connector and touch this connector with a screwdriver very gently. Be careful. I did that and nothing. So at that point, you know you're in trouble. So you go and you talk to the spouse. You ask her what to do. You say, I'm probably going to need some computer parts. And she goes, that's not a problem. You're made of money. Isn't that right, Karen?
That's correct.
I love somebody who's always got a quick wit and able to grasp the situation and tell you when basically you've got this happening.
Chance critical. Weapons array is disabled.
So at that point, I basically put thrusters on full, throw safeties off, and as Jonathan Frakes says in Star Trek First Contact, or no, not Star Trek, Star Trek Generations, brace for impact, ramming speed. So I I don't abandon the situation. I just go in full speed and try to figure out whatever I can do to fix the problem. And fixing the problem basically means a new power supply at $265. And I get Benson's advice. I said, Benson, do you think this can be enough? He says, no.
He said, let it rain money.
That's right, because Benson knows I've just got a little bit more money in my wallet. So he says it's going to take the power supply at $299 to have enough power for all the stuff in your computer. I'm like, okay, order the part. I mean, you're from Taiwan. You built this stuff all your life. I trust you. I'm going to go with what you say and not worry about it, because if I worry about it, I'm just not going to be able to sleep. And I'm a person who needs sleep. I'm a man of a routine. And just like Worf, I don't stand there waiting to get crushed by the bus. I get out of the way and I come back on top so that I can charge it back into the fight. One thing I really like about Star Trek Deep Space Nine is the characters take on a life of their own. Like Michael Dorn, he made Worf really come alive in that series. He became the trustworthy warrior that would always be your wingman, would always stand up, would always come home to his wife, would always take care of his son. When we found out later that he had a brother, he stepped on his honor and he said, you're born out of wedlock. I don't care. You're my brother. We'll figure it out. So this week we found out that there might be some kitty cats we can adopt. And I'm so looking forward to Mrs. Constrax giving me permission. Is that right, QBL? To go and fetch the kitties. And
Nine. I said I need to see pictures of these meow meows first, and
Right.
then we will go from there.
Right. We need authorization. That is so cool. I'm super glad that my spouse and I met at work. I approached her desk with a big silly grin on my face, and I said one day, how about I give you my phone number? And she said, okay. So she wrote it down, and she phoned me back within 20 minutes. At that point, I knew I had a good thing because nobody else in British Columbia had my phone number. So it all worked out for me. Um, I think our first date was eating sushi, and like 16 years later, we're still eating sushi. So we're still in love very much, and QBL keeps me on the straight and narrow. If I screw up, she's my wingman. She gets me back on the horse, gets me plowing towards my destination, and gets me full of food again, a little bit rested, get my boot dry, and no matter the hill, rain, or snow, we just keep on trucking. So we're about halfway through the podcast, and I wanted to talk about Confederate politics. Now, Confederate politics is the point in your wingman life when you get to meet somebody who's hard to like. So, there's a guy at work I really hated his guts. I hated everything he did. I hated the way he talked. I hated the way he worked. I just couldn't stand the sight of him. And finally, this week, I asked him, what do you do in life? He goes, I used to work in the hotel business. I go, my sister used to work in the hotel business. Tell me more. Tell me all the ugly stories I want to know. And he would talk about some of his politicians. He would talk about his brothers in the military. All of a sudden, that guy became the most interesting guy at work just because of his background. So I vanquished an enemy to turn him into a friend and coworker who I've always got his back. No matter if something goes sideways, I always ask him how he's doing when he first gets to work. If he looks tired, I go, "Hey, can I do anything to help you today? Let me take a swig of my coffee because it's the halfway mark and my throat is getting a little bit thirsty." Coffee, my only vice. I say that with a light heart. Um, I always try to offer my friends and coworker a coffee, and a lot of them don't drink coffee, so you have to improvise. You have to find out what makes them tick. Some people like to drink hot chocolate. Some people will only drink tea. They'll only drink high tea at noon with the queen. We've had high tea at the Empress Hotel in Victoria. It's amazing. It's such a cool setting. The food's great. And let me tell you, that's worth the experience for staying there one night or 2 nights. Um, that was a few years ago we went there, and I don't regret it. My sister got us a discount because she used to work in the hotel business, and I think we got the deluxe handicap room because my spouse is a little bit handicapped. But we were really, really glad to have the room to ourselves, and it was such a lovely, lovely place to visit. I really strongly encourage anyone who hasn't visited the legislature to make a trip down and maybe make a friend at the legislature. So anyway, back to the game. Sometimes you will meet somebody who irks you and who makes you want to throw up or throw a punch or whatever. The other day, I was in LGBTQ2B, so that's a mouthful, and there was a guy streaming, and his chat room, I didn't know, was full of his friends. So I opened my mouth to say something, and that is the ban. So I waited 15 minutes. I gave him a sub, and I said, can you unban me? Nothing, nothing, nothing. So if you're on Twitch and somebody bans you, you have to be very, very careful not to uh, piss them off because I went in with my spouse's account and I said, I promise to behave. I won't talk anymore. Please unban me. There was an instruction that says exclamation mark tips in programming language. That means don't offer me any advice. I didn't know, but this guy was a professional MechWarrior 2 player. He was a lot better shot than I was. He got the first mission done like on the first try. It took me 8 tries to get it done. And he's very, 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 very good at MechWarrior. So my advice was not needed. Like I really wanted to be his friend, but my request from my spouse's account to say unban got rewarded with a permanent ban. So I could never talk in that person's chat room ever again. So what I didn't know was on Twitch, sometimes you're not able to leave your game to go unban somebody. So your moderator, the person in the chat room who's moderating the chat room, is the one doing the ban. And they cannot unban somebody. All they can do is temporarily ban you or permanently ban you. So I learned from my misadventure this week with my computer being down that if you're playing a game and you can't access your ban list, that person's banned until you stop playing. So you're not necessarily wanting to stop playing, kill your chat room followers to go answer an unban request. So lesson learned. I'm not going to that person's chat room anymore. I didn't call them out on Twitter because that's not the place to air out your dirty laundry. The place to air out your dirty laundry is your own podcasts and giving people advice so they don't commit the same atrocities of war, offering advice to somebody who really doesn't need it. On a side note, the person's moderator couldn't chat because they were at work listening to the podcast, the chat room, without being able to comment or whatnot. So they're taking time away from their employer by watching a video game on their phone. So I'm not 100% in the wrong for having said something. I'm not 100% in the wrong for asking to be unbanned, but I'm definitely not going to get myself perma-banned from Twitch by forcing the issue on that person. I wish them well. I've removed my subscription from their account. I've removed my follow from their account, and I'm never going in their chat room again. They can play all they want. I'm just not going to force the issue on them. It's not appropriate. I'm wondering if there's any word of wisdom for World of Warcraft I can give you this week. All I can say about World of Warcraft is that it's a highly, highly addictive game. That if you play it right, basically it can be used as a therapy for your stress level. For me, I've been playing since 2009 on April 10th, so I'm coming up on 14 years. 14 years of WoW. And it's very soothing and therapeutic because I make gold in the game. One of the easiest ways to make gold is to make Vial of the Sands. I've explained to people on my Patreon, which is uh, patreon.com/constructs1. If you want to give me a tier follow, a $5 donation US gives you advertisement free. You get unlimited help in WoW from me. You get advice. You get my battle tag, which I can post in the chat room. And you can as well follow me on Twitter. I'm at Constructs1 on Twitter. Uh, I'm not necessarily the smartest person in WoW, but I do enjoy making gold and donating gold and helping other people make gold. If you have a cash flow problem and you want Violent Sands, come to Thorium Brotherhood US Alliance. Uh, level the character to 35, and I will donate you a Violent Sands for 5 gold. I have about 28 of them on that server, and lots of mats to make more. I have about mats to make another 40. So if you want a Violent Sands and you happen to be on Thorium Brotherhood US Alliance, ping me. My battle tag is purple skin, all one word, capital P, number 1977. I usually up late at night as my spouse handicap, and we're not always able to be available during the day. So sometimes the day just gets away from us. We're too busy. But we'll make time for you at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to see how you're doing, or write me an email at constructs at gmail.com or construct4 at constructs.com. I'm really Eddie Bear. I don't I don't bite my partner goes in my bite. Just ask my spouse. I'm not I'm not there to donate all my gold. That's not how I play the game. I'm just trying to gather 2 million gold on uh, Earthen Ring US Horde side. There's somebody I'd like to make a gift or a donation over there. So if you can help me achieve my goal, that'd be great. And speaking of Confederate politics, there's a guy I was trying to get his help to move 600K over to Earthen Ring US. So I donated him 2 tokens. So that cost me money. And when it came time for him to repay me, he took off with the money. So it happens. Oh, I have an echo. Yes, I think it has to do with my setup. And my spouse also has a microphone. So we have 2 microphones going. I'm sorry about the echo. Let me see if I can improve it somehow. Thank you so much for letting me know. I think 1 second. I'm going to mute myself here. Karen, the TV's turned off?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't hear you.
No, I'm muted. I muted myself. There's an echo.
Well, I can mute.
You can mute? Okay, I'll mute this video capture device. Is that echo still there? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay. So chat room, I don't know if you can still hear me. Oh, okay, perfect. So we fixed it. I had the advanced video capture feedback, so I will try and remember that. Let me take a screenshot of that, so next time I'm on, I don't accidentally trigger that. Uh, do, 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 do. Clip that, clip that, clip that, and chat room right here. So I'll take a screenshot of that for next time and put it in Paint. So right here, I'll show you what I muted in Stream Elements so that you know where the echo comes from. So what I do is I take a picture of my setup and then I show you what the picture looks like. So right here, this little thing is where I screwed up. I had the preview making noise, and that was the triggering the echo. So I'm just going to shrink it here a bit, right there, and I'm going to put a circle around it. Brush, large brush, red color. So right here is where I made the mistake. I had to mute that. So these things happen. We're really grateful that you let us know, and then we can fix it for the next show. Thank you so much for that. There's a wonderful thing about podcasting is everybody helps out everybody. I can't tell people how absolutely appreciative I am of the people in the chat room, people in the community, people on Twitch, people on Twitter, just all the overall community for WoW and whatnot. We've got about 5 or 6 minutes left in the show, but I just want to hand out truly epic people who've helped me are like Aprillian, who's now called April PVD. I definitely want to give her a shout out on this podcast because without her, I'm not able to put out the good content that she's helped me put together. I also want to thank Grand Negus for his tireless hours explaining to me how Twitch works, what to do, how to record, how to make the sound better. He's just an amazing guy. He's really generous with his time. I want to thank also I can't think of his name now. That's going to kill me later.
Hurley.
Frasley.
Hmm.
Frasley, who's part of the transgender community. He's just an awesome person, and he's really helped me clean up my audio. Curly is just has got such a bubbly personality. We also want to thank the people who make music, like Coldplay. We want to thank the people who make music, like Jay-Z. We want to thank the people who make music, like Phil Collins. All those people who give us inspiration and put the wind right back into our sails. I want to tell you about a near miss, an accident that was closely averted. I was working late hours one day, and I'd worked like 14, 15-hour day, and I forgot to hand in the keys at the end of my shift. So I took the keys home. I got a call from my manager. His name's Murray Gibson. He works in Calgary now. He's a heck of a guy, but he's hard to like sometimes because he can be tough on you. So he said I had to bring the keys back into work, and I drove the keys back into work, and on my way home I fell asleep at the wheel. And I was about to crash my car into a divider, and there's a gravel truck driver right behind me who laid on the horn, and he kept laying on the horn to wake me up. And I avoided the collision by probably 2 or 3 feet. And that guy saved my life that day. And I just want to be really, really thankful to people who drive line haul, who people who drive the big heavy trucks on the street. Sometimes they just need 12 seconds to complete their maneuver. They're going to wave at you when they finish because they're grateful for the help that you give to them. So just be patient with the big truck drivers. They're not always in the best position. They're not always in the best situation. They're not always have all the uh, most amazing things to deal with. Most days when I drive a tractor trailer, I get to where I'm going, I'm already late to get to the next spot. It's better for me to drive 5 ton because 5 ton when the truck's full, you bring it back. When it's empty, you go again. When you drive a tractor trailer, you go somewhere, you drop off, you hook up, and you're already late for your next pickup or delivery. So, just a lot of respect for my coworkers who drive line haul right now. It's during the holidays, and they're making amazing deliveries happen with not a lot of sleep and not a lot of easy to drive roads. Ice and snow last week, we had a lot. Now we're going to have to deal with the flooding and the rain. So when it rains, it pours. We love it that way. Isn't that great, QBL? We're
That
always
is correct.
we're born ready because we love this stuff, and the Boy Scouts got nothing on us. Anyway, yes.
You forgot to thank one very, very important person.
Who did I forget to thank?
Your freaking amazing wife.
I want to thank QBL for joining us today and making this podcast possible. Without her, I wouldn't have the strength or the wisdom or the amicability to welcome you into our living room and record with us. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. And we wish you well. And we'll look forward to next podcast, probably next week. And episode 3 will be hopefully better with a little bit of music. Thank you so much to Mr. Buchu for helping us out with the echo, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, chat room.